for being here. First, I want to say thank you to the amazing women who put this on today, who have a passion and a purpose for assisting individuals with not only bringing their stories to life, but helping curate those stories, while somehow finding a way for those voices not to get lost after the ending. That's an amazing talent and gift. So can we give those ladies? Secondly, I have been an avid reader. I love words. I love writing words. You can ask any elementary or junior high teacher, I love saying them the most. So that is always my favorite. So to my fellow authors in this room, I hope that you celebrate yourselves. It is not easy to tell a story, and you have done so.
Yes.
Now, to my sister, and even my best friend, who still comes to all my recitals, Mama and Katina, thank you for being here. When Iris and Janice asked me to speak, without knowing any details, of course I said yes, because I respect these women so very much. They could have asked me to speak about toenails, moonshine, like it don't matter what it is. And then I found out that the thing was overcoming COVID. And I know it's 2023, and we back outside, y'all toes out, mask off, everything, you know. But it was still necessary for me to sit with the idea of overcoming COVID. I mean, I'm present, and there was breath in my lungs, and so I paused, and I tried sitting with the realization that I'd made it through a global pandemic. I then sat intensely in the sorrow, in the gravity of sorrow of 6 million lives lost worldwide. So I tried it on again, overcoming COVID. And I decided at that moment I didn't like the implication. There was a win-loss that came with it, as though I had somehow won the 3 battles, if you will, that I faced with COVID, and that the people were not here lost. And I didn't like it. The truth is that during the pandemic, there were all types of conversations and rhetoric about us being in the same boat. But the truth is, we were not all in the same boat. Some of us were in boats, and some of us were on rafts, and some of us were on that door that Jack was on the Titanic, like when she could, you know. But the truth is, that was also true way before the pandemic. So, as daughter of a principal, I went back to my roots. Merriam-Webster is my jam. And give me a formal definition, unless I need a conversational one. And then I know what I said, you know what I meant, okay? But to overcome is a verb. A verb, and it means to get the better in a struggle or conflict, to conquer or defeat, to prevail over, or to overpower or overwhelm. I spent weeks at the beginning of COVID in my living room with snacks around me crying, not okay. So in that moment, I did not feel as though I had prevailed or overcome COVID. And then I found the last definition, which said to gain victory, win or conquer. Now, y'all, I promise you, life has been life-thing. Now, in 2020 though, I was just shadow boxing, right? It was a global pandemic, civil unrest, there were professional and personal mountains and molehills, and I absolutely was floating like a butterfly, but I was getting my ass flown like a bee. 2021, I was getting thrashed in an emotional WWE match, all while navigating the professional highs of my career that I had never known. 2022, my non-stop training had metaphysically groomed me into an MMA fighter. So, as I sat with that, and I examined and analyzed all my experiences during that time, I decided it was time for me to take a trip. I was going to take a trip back down memory lane so that I could intently and fiercely unpack what no longer served me and take the time to see what lessons I had learned, the victories that I had gained, and then I would decide if I had overcome COVID. Some of the lessons I learned. First, well, I learned a lot of y'all don't listen, and y'all were the reason that we lost our recess in elementary, okay? All we had to do was stay inside, but that's a different lesson. But, y'all did not stay inside. Being a dark-skinned Black woman in the field of DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, in 2020 was hard. Now, there was nothing new about my messaging, there was nothing new about my work or being in predominantly white spaces. The difference was pre-2020. Before George Floyd, DEI was for progressive leaders, right? Or for the mothers of Black gay children. Overnight, my white and non-Black friends had to reckon with the harsh truths of my lived experience, while simultaneously asking a mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted me to guide them on a journey, often detouring at the intersection of Guilt Avenue and Fragility Lane, and I was tired. So on the first block down memory lane, I was reminded what 2020 taught me. And the first thing was that it was okay to not be okay. It was okay for me to say it out loud. It was okay for me to sit and do nothing. 2020 forced me to examine if I believe that Black Lives Matter. And if I believe that Black Lives Matter, why wasn't I prioritizing my own? That I cannot pour from an empty cup. And that Black woman, your worth is more than your productivity.
Wow, yeah.
Sometimes pushing through is a trauma response, and I deserve rest. So I took that mental picture and decided, victory. The next street down memory lane, a little further down the road, I came to this very, very cluttered lot. And I realized and remembered that it was the site of an epic battle. All 2020, 2021, and 2022. And that I was standing in the rubble left by previous versions of myself. And then I forgave them all. Grace for my whole self, and not just the versions of me that I like. I decided in that moment that I was going to unpack again all the parts of who I thought I was supposed to be, and acknowledge that it's just a journey, and that who I am today may not be who I claim to be, but I'm close to, and that that's not linear. That sometimes the old me's are gonna come out. I apologize. God ain't done with me yet. But the same grace that I found myself giving to others, I was reminded I needed to give to myself. Another mental picture, victory. As I continued down memory lane, I noticed that my luggage got a little lighter and my bags got fewer. On my way out, leaving this neighborhood, feeling as though I had done some good work, some emotional labor had been done on this journey, I encountered the most amazing Black woman. Y'all, like grandma old, not like, hey auntie old, right? Like, and she gave me the biggest hug. And she was so wise, and she was so funny, and we sat and we talked, and she asked me so many questions, and I wanted to know so much about her. And she just knew so much. And I was preparing to leave, and I asked her if she wanted me to walk her home. She said no, because she didn't live in this neighborhood either. She just visits every once in a while, and on this day, she heard that I would be in the neighborhood, and she wanted to spend time with me. She kissed me on my forehead, and she said, now go. Continue to build, break, and rebuild everything we've dreamed of. I'm waiting on you. You'll love it. mental picture, flawless victory. For me, overcoming COVID means the whole thing is life. The good, the bad. It means holding space for my stories and others. It means character development and acknowledging sometimes I am the villain. It means fairy tales can be nightmares and daydreams can bring light in dark spaces. So on today, authors, I celebrate you. This body of work is an acknowledgement of stories, and it is necessary not only to record the human experience, but to share it. And you have done that. Flawless victory.
Wow.